Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unlock the profound power hidden inside two words so many of us say every single day. Words that honestly hold the key to transforming our entire spiritual experience. If we just, pause and really listen. Maliki Yawmaldeen. For millions of us, this isn't just a line from a book. It's a central part of our daily prayers recited over and over and over again. It kind of becomes the rhythm of our day, the routine of our lives.
But what if? What if inside those familiar sounds, there's a whole universe of meaning that we just rush right past every single time? What if the key to a much deeper connection has been hiding in plain sight, in the words we already know by heart? Okay, let's dive into this.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the method we're using to unpack these words. Then we'll get into our first word, Malik, and see how that actually applies in our lives. After that, we'll do the same for our second word, Deen, and we'll wrap it all up by looking at this powerful idea of divine order versus chaos. All right, so first things first, let's talk about our approach. The method we're using to really get to the heart of these keywords is something called semantic field analysis. Now, this isn't about just finding one simple translation and calling it a day. No. Instead, we're building a whole network of meaning. We're going to look at a word's original root, see what other ideas the Quran connects it to, the feeling it's designed to create inside us, and this part is absolutely crucial, we're going to look at what it's not. You see, defining a word by its opposite is one of the best ways to really sharpen its meaning. So, let's put this method into practice with our first word, Malik. Now, we usually hear it translated as king or maybe master, but the Quranic meaning, wow, it goes so much deeper and it is far more absolute. See, at its very root, Malik isn't just about ruling over something, it's about complete, undisputed ownership. It means being the one with total possession of everything, holding the ultimate authority to command and manage all affairs, however he wills, no questions asked. And what's so fascinating is how the Quran itself builds this definition on three just unshakable pillars. First, his is the dominion, the mulk. He owns the whole kingdom. Second, his is the command, the amr. The final word belongs to him. And third, his is the absolute power, the qudra, complete control. It's this perfect trifecta, total ownership, final authority, and absolute power. And get this, there's this incredible narration that perfectly illustrates this ultimate authority. It describes God laughing when his will prevails over the entire world. I mean, just think about that for a second. When he decides to bless someone that the whole world is against, or when he decides to withhold from someone the whole world supports, his decision is final. It's just this incredible image of absolute final say. So here's the crucial point. By defining the true Malik so absolutely, the Quran basically draws a line in the sand. There is only one ultimate owner and lawgiver, period. And that means any person, any system, any government that claims that level of final authority for itself is by definition a false claimant. Okay, that is a deep, layered meaning. It's a lot to take in, but what does it actually change for us, on a practical level? How does this understanding actually transform our daily worship? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Our minds are just wired for efficiency, right? To take the easy path. And so we rush through our prayers. Our tongues recite the words on complete autopilot while our minds are a million miles away, never stopping to feel the sheer weight of what we're actually saying. We're always in such a hurry. But to where, really? Somewhere along the way, I think a really critical shift happened. Our collective focus drifted from the quality of our contemplation to the quantity of our repetitions. The goal became about, fulfilling the numbers, not about actually nourishing the soul. That level of focus, it might sound almost mythical to us now, but it wasn't some kind of magic trick. It was the natural outcome of being completely immersed, truly nourished by the meanings they were reciting. When the soul is fully present with the reality of standing before the Malik, the noise of the physical world, it just fades away. So here's a little challenge for you. The very next time you pray, I want you to consciously stop on the word Malik. Really fight at muscle memory that's telling you to just rush ahead. And in that pause, actively bring those pillars to mind: absolute ownership, ultimate command, and total power. And just for a moment, connect with what it really feels like to stand in the presence of the true owner of everything. All right, let's apply that same deep focus to our second key word, Deen, as in Maliki Yawmiddin, master of the day of Deen. Now, for a lot of us, the word Deen is just a synonym for religion, what we might call a mazhab. But in the Quran, Deen means something fundamentally different. It's not just a set of private beliefs, it is a complete, comprehensive system. At its very core, the root of the word Deen is all about accountability. It's about cause and effect. It means to repay, to judge, and to give what is due. You can almost think of it like a cosmic transaction, where actions always have consequences, and a final accounting is absolutely inevitable. And this is a brilliant way to see how the system works. Think of Deen in 3 stages. First, a divine law is established. That's the standard. Second, obedience to that law is required. That's our part in it. And third, recompense occurs, where our actions are measured and lead to a just outcome, good or bad. It's not just a religion, it's a complete moral operating system. Okay, so once you understand Deen as this system of divine order, it immediately brings its profound opposite into sharp focus, and with it, our active role within that very system. So if Deen is this system of law, justice, and divine order, then its direct opposite in the Quran is fasad. And fasad is corruption, disorder, disruption, total chaos. It's the active unraveling of that beautiful divine system. And in exactly the same way, the justice that is baked into the system of Deen stands in direct opposition to zulm, which is oppression and injustice. The implication here is powerful. You cannot claim to be part of the system of Deen while remaining passive in the face of zulm. The two are incompatible. And this brings us to a really critical realization. That mindset that says, well, the world's problems are just too big, there's nothing I can do, so I'll just focus on my personal worship, that is a profound misunderstanding of what Deen actually is. It's an approach that leads to a false sense of peace and to inaction when action is required. To be part of the Deen is to be an agent of divine order and justice in the world. Which leaves us with a final and I think crucial question to really reflect on. If we truly understand what we're saying, that every single day we are declaring our allegiance to the Malik, the absolute owner of everything, and to the Deen, the divine system of order and justice, then what does that imply about our own personal responsibility to actively stand up and confront the chaos, the corruption, and the injustice that we see in the world around us?